Good morning, day 4, my McMillans Track walk. Just crossed Crooked River for the last time, leaving Talbotville behind me. Last night was wild. It was probably the biggest storm I've ever gone through in the duplex. It was only lasted maybe half hour, but it was fairly intense, particularly the wind. Had shit blowing everywhere. I thought I'd lost one of my gaiters actually. I found it under my tent this morning. Anyway, everything survived, so we'll push on. I was going to go to, Pioneer Racecourse last night, but because I was so tired with the heat, I pulled the pin early, so I'm about 3Ks, 4Ks behind now. Anyway, that's all good. I'll spin the camera around when there's something to see. It's a little bit overcast and drizzling with rain this morning so far. I've been climbing Brewery Creek track, this 4-wheel drive track, for a while. I had to drop down here into this valley. That's private land down there, but I hit it up a little bit further, a place called Pioneer Racecourse, which is public land. It's a little bit blackberry along I think it's the Wongangara River, Wongangara River, I think it is. Last time I went across it was waist deep. I don't think it's going to be that high today. So I'm down near the Wongangara River. This one's a little bit bigger than Crooked River, I think. So I'm just tracking along this side of it, on this old track, trying to avoid the blackberries before I cross over. Probably about another kilometre downstream, or upstream actually it is. These blackberries are a pain. You can just pick your way through slowly. Anyway, it's all good. It's about 20 degrees cooler than yesterday, so that's good. Double barrel track markers. That's a novelty. It must be an important turn. Looks like I'm dropping down to the river now. So this is the Wongangara River. Not to be confused with the Wonangara, which I'm crossing in another 3 or 4 hours. This is the crossing point just here. There's the exit over there. It's down about 1.5 feet since I was here last time, but it'll still be knee deep, this one. Alright. Might as well plough in, eh? And while I'm here, I might as well fill up my drink bottles, I guess. So I just had breakfast at the picnic table here at Pioneer Racecourse. The river's just down there through the blackberries. I'm heading up over Mount Cynthia range now. So the day's hard work has begun. It's a fire track trudge to the top, and then a walking track down the other side to Wonangara. Walking track, off track, bit of everything. Alright, it's a fair climb, so I'll put the camera away and get it out when there's something to see. So I'm into the climb up Mount Cynthia range. It's the only big climb I've got today, so it's not too bad. I'm glad I'm doing it this morning and not yesterday in the heat. I'll get sick of these clouds in a little while, but at the moment I'm just enjoying not being baked by the sun for a while. And this is a particularly hot and exposed climb too. Okay, I've reached the Mount Cynthia range and I pretty well drop off it straight away, I think. The trick is here to find the track. Here we go, there's a sign, which always makes it a bit easier. They've pretty well obliterated the start of it though. I'm guessing it's through here. This is it. Alright, heading down towards the Moroka River now. Might be time to put some gaiters on, I think. So I'm heading down to the right of that cleared land. That's the Moroka River down there. I'm heading to a place called Vale clearing. Then I'm going to walk up a valley and then climb up into those hills. Thankfully I'm not climbing to those hills tomorrow because they're pretty socked in at the moment, and there's a bit of navigation involved in climbing up there tomorrow. There's no track, so I prefer to be able to see where I was going if I could. Okay, I'm pretty well down near the river now, off Cynthia range. I'm just following a whole heap of animal tracks, and this is actually the track. It's pretty good here. That storm that went through last night has knocked a few trees over. Haven't talked much about that storm, but I couldn't get any vision. The situation was it was stinking hot. So I was sleeping with the duplex wide open, both the vegetables tied back, just trying to sleep on top of my sleep mat, top of my sheet, just basically laying there trying to get cool enough to sleep. And then a storm came in. I wasn't expecting a storm last night. They didn't predict it. Well, last time I saw the weather. And I jumped out. Once I felt the wind change, it was dark by this stage, I jumped out and pretty much all hell broke loose. I had my gaiters outside the tent and my shoes, had to just chuck everything in the tent. One of my gaiters was halfway into Crooked River. And then because the tent was open, as soon as I did up the back vestibule, it acted like a big parachute. So it almost ripped the stakes out of the ground. Then I was struggling against the wind to get the vestibule at the front, which is where the wind was hitting, done up. The whole time lightning's crashing around me everywhere. So it was a bit hectic there for a few minutes. The good news is with the duplex, once I did get the one that was taking the wind done up, it took a bit of effort, and I re-pegged one corner. It stood up to it pretty good. Didn't leak. It pissed down with rain for about 20 minutes. It didn't leak. But yeah, it was very hectic. There was people there in 4-wheel-drive campers a little bit further along, and their sites got demolished. They were probably the same as me. They probably left a bit of stuff out, not expecting such a strong storm. But yeah, it was intense. And then I lost a gaiter. Spent a bit of time last night searching for it with the torchlight. Couldn't find it. Kind of resigned to doing this rest of this track without gaiters, which wouldn't have been fun without canvas gaiters. And then I got up this morning, couldn't see it, and then looked under the. So I was packing up the tent, and it was laying under the tent. So that was a win, because yeah, I wasn't looking forward to scrub bashing through blackberries in just dirty girls. Anyway, that was the saga from last night. Let's get down to the river and have some maybe an early lunch, I reckon. Okay, I've just hit this farmland near Eagle Vale. The river's down there through those trees. Trick here is to not head towards the river. Stay right and walk the fence line of the farmland. It's private land, obviously. So yeah, if you go right down to the river, you'll only have to backtrack back around on this fence line. So I've had some good news. I've just got a fraction of service just up here on this beside this farmland as I drop down to the Wonnangatta River, and I've jumped on the Vic Emergency app, and there's no fires that have sprung up overnight that I can see. So that is good, because I was worried with all that lightning going through last night that something might have popped up. Alright, so we'll keep on moving towards Woods Point. So the Wonnangatta's slightly unusual on this journey in that it's bridged with a very, very, very wonky and dilapidated suspension bridge. And I'm not going to try and film as I walk across, because sure I'll drop my phone in the water. So this is the Eagle Vale camp. It goes on for a long way along the river. It's popular, like Talbotville, very popular for drivers. You can get your water down at the ford down there if you want to stay here. I'm not staying here today. I'm going to keep pushing along towards the Moroka. I've got the gaiters off now because I've got about 12 k's on roads. Well, a dirt kind of track road thing. Alright, the clouds lifted a bit, but we'll see if it lifts this afternoon. Hope it does. Okay, that's the end of Eagle Vale and the Wonnangatta River. Well, I'm following the Wonnangatta River now, but I don't cross it again. I'm walking this kind of quiet road for, yeah, I think it's 12 k's, something like that anyway. So it'll be fairly uneventful, I think. There are the mountains I'm heading up to. I'm going to swing around this one, I think, and then up a valley. That's the Wonnangatta down there. So this little spot here is Pulpit Rock. That water's looking mighty inviting about now. Haven't had a swim yet today. That's still the Wonnangatta, but I'm not far from where the Moroka joins it, and I'll follow the Moroka. Okay, things are going to get a bit wild now for the next, I don't know, probably take me a day. First of all, I'm going to walk up the Moroka River, and then I'm going to climb up to a fire track on the tops, but the climb's off track, the Moroka River's off track. We'll see how we go. This is the junction of the Moroka and the Wonnangatta River. I think. So I'm following the very faint remains of an old road. It's not bad here, you can see it. Spots you lose it. I'll follow this for another half a k up onto a spur crest, and then I'll lose it, and then I'll be totally off track, which in a way might be better because it's a pain in the ass pushing through blackberries on this old road. So this is where I leave the old road alignment. Swing off on this lesser path. I'm now going to follow this pretty much down to the river. So this is a wilderness area. So there's very little in the way of track markers through here. And there's no, well, for long sections there's no track. It's all good at the moment though, it's all pretty easy. Okay, I'm into the crux of McMillans Track. I think it's the Moroka Snowy Darling Wilderness Area is the correct name. Now Mr. Chapman suggests to cross to the, well, I'm on this side, but you climb up onto that bank and the walking's easier through the bush. It looks pretty thick and horrible to me. I might follow the open river for a bit until it crowds me in and then climb up and have a look. The problem is a little bit is getting through the impenetrable wall of blackberries around the river. That'll thin out as I go upstream a bit though. I'm trying Chapman's described route on the right bank. Inland a bit, but to be honest with you, it's pretty shitty. I think it'd be just as easy walking up the riverbed. I mean, the scrub's not horrific. I've broken through the blackberries, but it's pretty slow going. I'll persevere for a few minutes, see if it opens up at all. If not, I'll make my way back down to the river, I think. Well, I found a pad, led me straight back to the river. I think it's a deer pad or something. So I think I might try the river for a while. I might even swing the other side. It looks more open on the other side, to be honest. That's Snowy Bluff towering over the top. Oop. Okay, I tried the left bank. The forest was a little bit more open, but still shit as far as quicker off walking up the river. Which is what I'm going to do now. I'm not going to piss around. I've gone nowhere for the last half an hour as I've explored at right angles to the river, trying to find some mythical open forest. All right, let's just get on with getting up this river. So these deep pools are the only problem. I think I should cross here maybe, and then take to the scrub for a while. Late afternoon, slogging up the Moroka River. Does have its highlights. All right, it's time for me to start looking for somewhere to pitch a tent, I reckon. It might not be super simple. We'll see how we go. So this is my Moroka River camp. And I found a barely flat shelf in the prickly scrub. There's some spots a lot further back towards the hills, but then I've got to walk a mile for water, so I just decided on this will do. Water's just down there. I'll be in bed soon anyway. Alright, I'll spin this round soon and sign off. Okay, about time to sign off from day 4 of McMillans Track. Yeah, I think it's day 4. I walked from Talbotville to, well, I'm halfway up the Moroka River to Higgins Yard. So probably about, yeah, I've done about half the river traverse. So tomorrow I've got the climb out up to D4 track to look forward to, as well as another probably 2 or 3 hours in the river. Today wasn't too bad. The tracks this morning were all pretty good over to the Wangangara and then down to Vale were pretty good. The river's a bit easier than last time. The water level's a bit lower. Last time I was kind of waist deep sometimes. This time it's below my knees. I've been looking for Chapman's mythical clearings, but they're few and far between. You spend so much energy going at right angles to where you want to go to find them. It's dubious as to whether any better. I find it just as easy to go straight up the river at the moment. That would change after there's a lot of water, obviously. All right, I'm going to hit the bed early. I didn't get much sleep last night with all the excitement with that storm, the heat and then the storm. So I'm going to try and get some decent sleep tonight because I've got a big day. Tomorrow's probably the hardest day of the whole trip, the whole walk, I think. All right, take it easy. See ya in the morning. I'm back. I forgot to give you the stats. According to All Trails, did 27 7Ks today and climbed over 1,000 metres. So that hasn't run through the software because I'm offline, so that could drop back a bit, but the kilometres will be about right. The metres climb might go back a bit. We'll see how we go. Check out the slide at the end and it'll be more accurate maybe. All right, take it easy. Bye-bye.